There hasn't been a goddamn mystery writer worth reading since Dashiell Hammett died. He slurred at a table of mystery writers. Tomorrow was day one of the Bouchercon, the annual mystery fan convention. You're worth reading, I ventured, smiling, trying to keep it light. Roscoe Kane, the shoulders of his plaid shirt flecked with dandruff, his patched brown sports jacket slung sloppily over the back of his chair, looked at me with disgust lining every wrinkle of his basset hound face, his roomy china blue eyes like nasty lasers. The hoarse voice wanted to be contemptuous, but sad self-pity got in the way. I used to be. Across the table from us, Brett Mertz, in faded blue work shirt and jeans, leaned over and gestured, his long curly hair and free-flowing mustache making him look like a hippie Gene Shalit. He had the kind of enthusiasm it took to have driven here from Colorado in a Datsun. I'll bet you could still write a hell of a yarn, he said. You ought to come out with a new Gat Garson. A bigger chill couldn't have fallen across the small party of five if somebody had turned on the air conditioning. The rest of us, me, Peter Christian, Tim Culver, were well aware of Roscoe Kane's unfortunate situation where publishing was concerned. But Mertz rushed in where angels fear to tread. Don't tell me you've got writer's block, Mertz said good-naturedly. I wrote you a fan letter back when I was in high school and told you I was trying to be a writer and said I had a book half written but was stuck and that I was afraid I had writer's block, remember? And you wrote me back and said, there ain't no such thing as writer's block, just blockhead writers, Kane said with a mirthless smile. Mertz's grin went up in one direction, his mustache in a couple of others. You remembered? I smiled and nodded. He told me the same thing 2 years ago. Kane said to me, that's the advice I give to any jackass in that situation, Mallory. I need another scotch. A pretty brunette barmaid in a short skirt took care of that. Kane didn't seem to notice her, even when she bent over and gave us a view right off the cover of one of Kane's Gat Garson paperbacks. I was hoping the question about why Kane wasn't publishing anything, why he hadn't published a new novel in the United States in 15 years, in fact, and anywhere in the world in the last 10, had been forgotten in the wake of Kane's latest scotch, a long, slow, joyless sip of which he took, and then got right into the inevitable harangue. I was the biggest name in paperbacks, he said, launching into a variant of a speech I had heard half a dozen times before, and read as many times in letters from him. Spillane came along writing his violent junk and took the paperback world by storm. It was post-war, and the vets wanted some hair on their books' chests, and the Mick, for all his faults, knew that. You don't take a guy who's been in the Battle of the Bulge and give him a book about a guy in a white suit whose gun goes bang and makes a nice, clean, tidy little hole in the bad guy's black suit. Nah! You have your guy shoot a big, unpleasant, bloody hole in the bad guy. A hole you could drive a Mack truck through. That's what a reader who's been through the Second World War goddamn well expects. Carnage. And he doesn't expect the sex to be prim and proper either. He's looking for it hot and horny. Kane was wound up now. This story used to be delivered more articulately. But the scotch, not just tonight's, had taken away a few too many brain cells for Kane to be in top form. What he was saying was true, of course. In the post-war paperback boom, sexy, violent novels, inspired by the success of Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer series, were the backbone of the fledgling industry. But of Spillane's many imitators, only one, Roscoe Kane, had given the Mick a run for the money. Even Richard S. Prather and John D. MacDonald were runners-up compared to Kane. Why? Because I was smart enough to use humor. Oh, not that broad, campy crap Prather used to dish out. Mertz, hearing one of his idols besmirched, interrupted. I like the Shell Scott stories. They were lousy, Kane ranted. My humor was subtle. My stuff was Hammett done tongue-in-cheek. Low-key, Peter Christian said, eyes intense behind dark-rimmed glasses.